right, so Conor McGregor is driving everybody nuts, right? Every time there's a show, Conor does a call out of somebody, of which he then doesn't follow through on and fight, but he never had any intention in the first place. So, but every show, and people have called Conor out on this and go, man, what are you doing? This is nauseating. This is annoying. No, it's none of those things. It's thought provoking. It's baffling. It's headline worthy. And now it's apparently beyond the fight worthy because here we are. Look, Conor McGregor waits until Gaethje gets done with his business with Cerrone. And instead of calling Gaethje out, as he's done for every single major card there has been for 3 months, he tweets out a date of December 14th, Dublin, and sends it out. Now, obviously, that's speculative. What is in December? The MMA media chose to pick up Conor's announcing not only a fight, but where he will be fighting. Meanwhile, if you go over to forums and channels and commercial activity in the whiskey business, they believe that Conor's dropping a new product on December 14th. The bottom line is, he gave us no information. He gave us no information at all. He didn't even attempt to. He attempted to catfish and bait you, and everybody ate it up. And then they get mad at Conor when he doesn't follow through with it. Follow through with what? What did he say he was going to do? What promise did Conor make? Oh, and by the way, Conor, in 160 characters or less, generated over 10,000 responses and close to 2 million, what the kids like to call engagements. Most fighters, including top fighters, could do a fist fight and not generate 2 million engagements on their performance. So before you want to come out, and I love the people that think they're a step back. Conor's just trying to troll us. Conor just wants attention. Conor just wants a headline. Gee, thanks, Captain Obvious. Is water wet and is the sky blue? I always love it when you get this new guy in MMA, but all of a sudden he's the smart fan. He's the one that's figured everything out. Conor just wants attention. It's the attention business, you dumb bastards. What do you think we're doing here? There's only a couple of ways to make money in this field. You could be in the business of winning fights. That would be the most honorable. That is the one that you would like to do. That is one that you are sacrificing and trying to achieve. Oh, and by the way, if you win the fight the way the business is set up, you will double your yearly income. It's also a very rare one. It's a very hard one. You could also be in the business of selling fights. Conor McGregor's not been in the business of winning fights in 3 years. He's in the business of selling fights. And guess what? Business is good. Every now and then, you'll hit a grand slam where you win a fight and you sold the fight. Now you're talking about a guy that comes along once in a lifetime. But if you find it, great. Go ahead and run with it. If Conor McGregor can evoke a reaction and emotion out of you, which is all the business side of this is, the garnering of emotion, of which you have two. You can cheer or you can boo. The third is that you're indifferent. If you are indifferent to the outcome of an athletic contest, those guys in the contest have failed. So, as much as you love to identify what Conor is doing and say that you even find it annoying, that's an emotion. And if Conor evoked an emotion, Conor's winning. So, meanwhile, in conjunction with that, as much as you may find it irritating to not get a good solid up, down, left, or right from Conor, as much as you might find that irritating, that's not Conor's job. Conor's job is to keep you engaged and enveloped in his career. That is his job. To do that while being out is nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible. It takes a thinker. It takes somebody who understands the business, a lot of which part is manipulation of the business, of the fans, to keep them engaged and let them be part. A lot of putting out a great tweet or anything on social media is something that provokes thought. Not for nothing, but it is. And I realize how irritated it can be. I'm just talking about if you want to look at the things that go viral, speculation is a lot more powerful than actual answers. You ever want to hurt a guy's feelings? You ever want to start a rumor about him? Speculate towards something and then let everybody else try to figure out what it means. That will be something very damning. Speculation is a powerful thing, generally used in a negative way. But if Conor's using this to keep people interested, to keep people saying his name, to keep people coming out, making videos and talking about him, he's doing a really good job. Not for nothing, he's doing a great job. I saw another one. I saw right before I sat down here today. But my own friend, Tyron Woodley. And Tyron and I go way back. We used to train together. We work together to this day. We hang out. So Tyron gets a lot of slack with me, but I also feel that I understand Tyron in a way that most other people don't. When Tyron was the champion, there was this narrative about how difficult he was to work with. It's not how I saw it. I saw it as very straightforward. Tyron Woodley, when he comes to a table, has certain things he wants. If you agree on those things, he expects you to uphold your end. But the other side of the Tyron story that never really got told was that he will uphold his. People don't understand what a man of his word Tyron. So when I was hearing this, Tyron's difficult to work with, I'm going, that's not true. Tyron just expects everybody, including himself, to do what they agreed to do. As long as that happens, you'll be smooth as butter with Tyron Woodley. But if you change things, he then gets to change things. That's how he sees it. That is his code of ethics, but he follows that code. I find Tyron to be a guy that has tremendous integrity, but has largely been misunderstood. I preface that because Tyron took a little bit of a page out of Conor's book. And while it is frustrating, let me back up. I'm on third base. Let me move back all the way to first. Tyron came out in one fell swoop. He called out Khabib. In one fell swoop, he called out Usman for a rematch. And Khabib at 155, Usman at 155, and in the same breath, essentially an hour apart, he says, "Oh, by the way, I'm moving up to 185 pounds." That just doesn't work, right? He pointed his cannon. He aligned his troops in 3 different directions. I don't think it was a crazy thing to do at all. I don't think it was an annoying thing to do at all. I think it was something that Tyron did because he understood the landscape, and this is going to get some chatter. I'm not going to get Khabib, but I'm not going to walk right into Kamaru, even though he's available, and I'm a former champion, and I certainly am a top contender. Oh, and by the way, 185 sure is compelling because that's somewhere I've never been, and there's a total fresh coat of paint. I think he created 3 different stories all at once. And while that will bother some people because they want a real direct answer, man, these guys don't owe you an answer. They don't owe you anything, including the truth. And that can drive you crazy, but you have to understand, if you're a member of the MMA media, when's the last time you told the truth? These guys get it left, right, and center. Wrong. These guys will do an exact quote that was caught on video, put out to the world. They'll go back and quote it and not get it right. It's the strangest thing in the world. There's a story that's told in every law class in America on the very first day of law class. And it's the story of the gentleman who gets pulled over by the police officer. And the police officer says, "Have you been drinking?" And the person in the car says, "I've been drinking?" The police officer writes it down and brings it to court, but never writes down the fact that he put it with a question mark, thus changing the phrase completely. MMA media members will not only get their punctuation wrong, which changes the entire statement, they won't even get the quote right. So if you're doing something with the media who doesn't do to even write down the words and the punctuation correctly, possibly because they don't even know it, possibly some of them don't even know the difference between a question mark and a period, you don't owe them anything, and that includes the truth. I tell guys all the time, you don't answer questions. You aren't under subpoena to be here. If you're doing an interview, you are not under subpoena. You're not by a court order. You don't answer questions. You handle questions.